Hello and welcome to another episode of the Quickview. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the Metal Gear Solid franchise. Um, I have a video for all my backlogs, and I have not played every single Metal Gear Solid. I'm probably up there though with the amount of games I have played. I've pretty much played all the essential ones. I haven't played Portable Ops Plus or Portable Ops. Everyone says Portable Ops sucks, but I really liked Peace Walker. I think that's just kind of like a proto Peace Walker in terms of gameplay. I don't really know. I haven't played the Game Boy Color version, and I tried to play the ones on the Legacy edition for like the MSX versions, but honestly, games that old I don't really have too much of an interest in, and it's probably not really that critical at the end of the day anyway. So like, I don't feel like playing that. But I was recommended in high school to play the Metal Gear Solid franchise. My one friend played 3D to the point of, I mean, he would like beat the game by skipping cutscenes. He would just keep beating the game over and over again. It was very weird. And a lot of my friends would reference, Snake saying "kept you waiting," all that fun stuff. So because of that, I decided to try Metal Gear Solid 3. I played it on Vita. I don't have that copy anymore, which is stupid because I bought it for like $10. It would have been worth so much. It's a total moron. But I played 3 first. Oh, or wait a minute. Did I play 1 on. Oh, so for like the Legacy Edition, you don't actually get the PlayStation 1 game, but you do on a download code. But since I got the game afterwards, I had to get it on the PSN store, which was still up at the time I got it. I think I played. No, I actually played 1 first. Wasn't that strange? I totally forgot that I played it in that order. It's a very confusing game series. I think you should honestly play it in terms of how the game is chronologically because it kind of is trying to be more harder to understand than it is. But if you go from 3 to Peace Walker to 5 to 1, wait, did I say 3? I did say 3. To 1, 2, and then 4, it's a you can understand it. A lot of the things are retconned for like 5 technically really didn't need to exist, but I think the game has really stood the test of time. I think a lot of I wouldn't say that necessarily for like the port of 3. The first version is terrible and I would never even play it. It's that bad. I was able to actually get pretty far, but that's because I played the HD version and then came back. I actually that's one version, but you can't even play that version anymore. Really, you have to kind of go out of your way to play it that way. So it's not really that bad. But honestly, every Metal Gear Solid game that I've listed off, I've really loved. I loved Peace Walker. I played 3 or I played 1 and then 3. I can't remember because it's been so long, but I played 1 and then 3, I'm guessing. I don't know why I can't remember that, but yeah, 1 is a really good game for what it is on the PlayStation. I think it really holds up. The music holds up. I think the graphics are probably the worst thing about it. Oh, and I haven't played Twin Snakes, but no, I think it's really a solid thing that was kind of weird, but when you could experiment in that type of that type of age for that console, so it was really revolutionary in terms of you could literally have just basically a movie game kind of. It's really weird what I would even define it as. It kind of toes the line because it has a lot of cutscenes, but they're not like bad because you can always just skip it, which is kind of nice. So yeah, I would say probably in terms of my favorite though, 5 is the one that I really got into a lot. But I guess I'll just go in. That's so weird. I don't know what way I would go. You know what? I'll say like for 1, I think that was a really good solid basis. Solid. But that was a really good solid basis to start out the whole series. I don't think that 2 comes out of nowhere in terms of the story and its style that it's set up, I think 2 is probably. I don't think I would ever replay 2. I think 1 I would replay, honestly. I think 1 is that cool. The only thing that kind of pisses me off is you have to go get the key card over and over again, but I mean, all the boss fights were really cool. The gameplay was really cool. So 2, I really haven't played in so long. It kind of just gets like the final cutscene. It kind of gets a little more important than it needs to be, but I still think it holds up. It really did age like fine wine for what the subject matter was. But yeah, I don't really like it. And then I don't like in 3 that they had to make fun of Raiden for no reason. I don't even think Raiden was that bad in 2. I just, like I said, I think the game gets like too just full of itself a little bit. That's kind of what Kojima does, but that's his whole shtick, so it's kind of really good with that. And then when 3 came out, 3 is honestly the best starting off point because it's the prequel to like everything. And probably one of the greatest prequels of all time, which is very hard because there's not too many good prequels out there. Um, and yeah, I really liked 3. 3 is, the soundtrack, all the weird little like you can take it seriously, but it's so bizarre. The end boss fight. I mean, every boss fight was like awesome. I mean, I guess aside from the end, the guy with the jetpack, he's not really that good. I like all of the weird, like Revolver Ocelot when he just randomly meows. Like, it's just weird. There's a lot of weird stuff that kind of is just like a Japanese cultural thing, I guess. But yeah, I really like 3. 3 when he's climbing up the ladder and the Snake Eater theme is playing is just so good. I mean, and again, I haven't played these games in forever. The only one that I've played is semi recently is 5. But I have not played 4. Yeah, I really recommend 3. Man, I really want to play. I have the 3DS version. I haven't gotten around to playing it yet, but yeah, that one's, yeah, that makes me want to play it now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, when you go up the elevator, I mean, when you go up the ladder and the Snake Eater theme starts playing, it's just so cool. And the Snake Eater theme itself, you don't even have to have known anything about Metal Gear Solid. Just listen to it. It's so cool, dude. And I'm still in a dream, Snake Eater. It's really cool. And then I played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, and the songs for like basically every single one is so good. I mean, well, I don't know. It's been so long since I've heard 2 and Peace Walker. I can't say that for sure, but I can remember Rules of Nature for Metal Gear Rising, and honestly, I remember the first hour when he cuts a Metal Gear and he suplexes it. Dude, that is like the coolest thing ever. The guarding really sucks. But dude, throwing a Metal Gear as Raiden is insane. Also, the fact that at the end of 4, he surgically turns himself into a human, and then he surgically turns himself back into a cyborg, and then at the end of the game, he surgically uncyborgs himself, which is really weird. But the soundtrack goes so hard, and the game has really stood the test of time with Nano Machines, son. And Senator Armstrong. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, there's really haven't been too many. Again, aside from like Portable Ops and Acid, and I don't even know if I'd count the Game Boy Color one because I never played it. Um, Pretty much they just keep hitting and hitting and hitting. I think 4 was semi divisive, but I don't think that means it was bad. It's just because the cutscenes were so long because he had to wrap up like so many things. And then I decided to play 5, and 5 is in the top 10 games that I've ever played in my life. I love Metal Gear Solid 5. I've tried to S rank every single mission. I have not successfully done it because I would just play this game over and over. There are so many things that I've done in Metal Gear Solid 5. It was the first and only game I bought a microtransaction because I wanted Mother Base coins. Like, that is unheard of from someone like me. I would rather spend money and get like 6 games like that were $1 rather than spend a single cent on microtransactions, and I bought microtransactions. that is saying something. That is like almost unheard of for someone like me. So when I tell you I love Metal Gear Solid 5, I do. I think I know exactly. I think I know what probably happened. I don't think we'll ever get a full definitive thing, but he made all the gameplay, and then Konami was like, okay, you can't keep making the game super long. You just gotta release it, and that's why they released Ground Zeroes, and then they released the Phantom Pain, and it's literally after that first hour of cutscenes, you just basically have you could. I mean, you literally just can go around open world. There's like barely any restrictions. There still are missions where you have to like run around and you're in the helicopter and then you land and then you go and you finally do the mission because they're obviously hiding loading times. But dude, there have been so many S ranks that I've done. I wish I had them. I wish I had more recorded because it's just such a fun game. It's probably one of the greatest games, and it's not even finished. That's the scariest thing about it. I wish we lived in a world where Kojima got to finish this because it was literally. It is one of the greatest games of all time. I can say that hands down. The open world stealth is such a bizarre and stupid idea, but the fact that it literally works is insane. There are so many moments where you can use so what I used to use mainly, and you can't use any sort of shooting people unless it's with rubber bullets because it's a stealth game. But I've used so many of the dummies to knock people out. It's insane. I've used so many like weird techniques. I love Metal Gear Solid 5. It probably is one of the greatest video games of all time. After you get through that hour, I hate that hour. It's so slow, and the ending it's clearly not finished at all because it just basically ends randomly once you get to level 50, and half of them you have to go backwards. But it, if I could have lived in a world where he only made missions and he expanded the like actual world you went to, dude, hands down, it would have. I mean, it wouldn't even have been a competition. It would have been my top favorite game of all time. Just the amount of stress when you're trying to get an S rank mission is just so cool. You can't even I can't even like describe it. I wish I just had videos pulled up, but this one I actually can't because my sure I have the Xbox 360 version, but none of my progress is on that. I just kind of got it because and that's another thing that's actually really impressive too that I've always said. They somehow got MGS5 on a 360. I don't know how they did it. It's terrible. I've played the PS3 version, which is terrible, but how did they get this thing on a 360? That's what I always have used as an example of like the games that come out now really aren't that impressive because if MGS5 can run on a 360, you can probably get 99% of games now running on a PS4 like no problem if you just put the graphics down unless they're like God of War where they have to be that graphically detailed. So, yeah, I have so many like times where so there was a guard post where I was like I wanted to try and S rank it as quickly as possible. So what I did is I drove in my car, and you get like a second of they're about to alert somebody. But I ran down all four of them. They had like a turret over here, so I ran down all four of them. I immediately ran back out, and I shot a turret and blew all of them up. There's so many things that you can do that are just like that. You can also use the man, what was it called? Now it's been so long since I played it. But you use the balloons that you have. You can literally strap someone up to balloon, whistle for them to come over, like someone to go underneath them, and then shoot the person from the balloon and knock them both out. It's like genius. I just don't like the microtransactions that were in there. And again, it's like it's literally not even a finished game, to be honest with you. And I just love MGS5, dude. Oh, and Ground Zeroes was okay. Actually, the story, there have been a lot of videos in retrospect in the last few years that show MGS5's potential story where it's so weird. All like the little details that, not Ocelot, what am I thinking? Not Huey. Man, it's been so long since I played it. Oh yeah, so Kaz is in one cutscene talking to Paz in Ground Zeroes. It sounded like his voice actor. They never said it was him, but he said like, "Get that girl ready," or "Get her armed," or something like that. And it was confirmed that it was Kaz, which would have meant Kaz was a traitor the whole time. And there's a bunch of videos like that, which I never even knew. So it's like even with the little tiny scraps that Five was given, it still had a pretty interesting story. I don't think it would have went anywhere. It probably would have been like a repeat of Peace Walker, but Kojima very rarely missed. And the ones that weren't his, I think Portable Ops was his. So I think that was 100% his fault, but like he really didn't have that many bad games. I think this is one of the few series where basically every game is at least decent. Aside from Portable Ops, I think everyone literally hates in Portable Ops Plus, but like every game is at least good. MGS1 is groundbreaking. MGS2 is even more groundbreaking. MGS3 is like perfection, depending on what port you get. Um, and then 4 is kind of like a bit worse for how much they have to explain it, but it's still a good game. It's just you literally have to play those games or it does not make any sense at all. Peace Walker on PSP is like one of the best PSP games of all time. Even the HD version is good. I mean, it's kind of still like a PSP game, but it's really like a really good PSP game. And then 5 is one of the greatest games I've ever played in my entire life. Um, oh yeah, and then there's Survive, but we don't talk about that. But yeah, like the main Kojima games, he basically hit shot for shot for shot for shot for shot, and I love MGS. It's a really good series. I think they said that they're gonna make a movie, and remade like Delta and everything. It's like, dude, I'm so sick of these remakes. I honestly am. I'm so done with everything being remade. Also, the art. Like, there's just so many things about MGS that's just so good, dude. Like, look at that art. Like, look at that. That's insane, dude. But all the other newer games are. This is just what they did in 2014. Is just have a picture of one of the characters. Also, Venom Snake is such a stupid idea. Yeah, there's so many things you could like get me to go off of, but yeah, he was in like a 9-year coma, which is just statistically not even possible. Yeah, but yeah, there's so many cool things about Metal Gear Solid. It's clearly one of the few series that deserve to stand the test of time, and I'm kind of glad Kojima was forced to leave because they really can't do anything with the series now, and he kind of basically told every single avenue that could be told, so there's no real way to like even with Peace Walker that at least kind of made sense, but to put 5 in after Peace Walker, that's like totally insane. That literally makes no sense, dude. That doesn't even like timeline wise, it's cutting it where the on the risk of it's not even realistic. But yeah, unless they somehow make a Metal Gear Solid 6, which I don't think is even possible. It kind of ended off on the perfect way where he just like there's nowhere else to put a game in. Like maybe if they remade the MSX games and had something there, which would be like fine, I guess, but they're never going to acknowledge those. They're only going to have the ones that sold a lot of money. So, yeah, but other than that, that was my rant on the MGS series. I really love this, and at the bare minimum, just turn your brain off for like an hour, really struggle through the intro, and then just play 5. It's such a good game. Love 5, man. 5 is literally top 10 games. So, hope you have a good one, and I will see you in the next one.